Hey everybody, today, God, I messed up on the first take. Hey everybody, today we're going to be cracking open the history of Project Winter.
It was remote saboteur.
Project Winter is what would happen if you took Dead by Daylight and Among Us, made them have sex, and actually made a good game. Originally coming out on February 17th, 2019, Project Winter is an 8-player social deception multiplayer game where you have 6 survivors and up to 2 imposters. The goal is for the survivors, who all have special abilities, to repair 2 stations and call in an evac vehicle, while the non-survivors have to try and kill all the survivors. Being able to craft a few different types of ranged weapons, melee weapons, and poison, there's a plethora of different ways to kill the dangerous animals or other players scattered throughout the map. Oh, and there's proximity-based voice chat. That's always fun. You can pick one of 3 game modes: basic, normal, and blackout. Basic is like normal, but with less roles, less craftables, less locations, and a smaller time limit. It's very noob friendly and a great way for new players to learn the game. Blackout is DLC, which gives you access to a few different game modes with new rules, new roles, events, and items. Most of the time though, you're going to be playing normal, which has a 9-section map and 30-minute long rounds with all the roles and items available to the players. Any objective can spawn, any global event can occur, and the armor and laboratory can spawn. With your game mode in mind, you can now start learning how to play the game. Yay! Everybody spawns in a small cabin in the middle of the map. The only map you have is a small one outside the cabin and a shitty little compass at the top of your screen. Once the game starts, you're going to probably want to go outside and pretend this game is Minecraft, because you're going to be punching the shit out of the first tree that looks at you funny. You have to be careful though, because you only have 4 inventory slots and stuff stacks in 3s. You can make a backpack to get an extra slot though. Anyways, once you get a piece of wood, go over to a rock and get some stone. Then run back into the cabin, craft a melee weapon. You can make an axe, pickaxe, or a sickle. They let you harvest wood, stone, and berries faster respectively. Oh, and I forgot to mention, along with your HP, you have to watch your warmth and your food, otherwise you'll take damage and eventually die. You can harvest berries or kill moose, wolves, even bears for food. Once you've filled your stomach, you can use a few pieces of wood to make a campfire that will keep you nice and toasty. In every game mode, you have to try and repair 2 different objectives that require electronic parts, mechanical parts, or fuel. Once you repair the objectives, you'll call in a vehicle that will pick up the remaining survivors and extract them from the map before the blizzard hits. During all of this, however, the traitor will be trying to sabotage and kill the players so they don't finish their task. If you feel confident in your PvP abilities, you could kill them, but they might be labeled as sus, so you can just exile them and then they can't go back into the cabin to craft supplies or use the fire to get warm. Now that you know how to play, you'll randomly get assigned a role. You're either a traitor or a survivor. If you're a survivor, you get a chance to get a special role, which will help you get supplies or suss out a traitor. The survivor roles are as followed. The defector can open a traitor crate or airdrop, one of the little things scattered around the map, every about 5.5 minutes. Just make sure to tell your teammates so they don't shoot you on sight. The hacker is able to open a bunker by themselves, but they have to be around other players for the ability to charge up. The tracker can place a tag on someone who you think is sus, and it shows their location on your map at all times. The detective ability gives you insight on 3 of the 7 stats of a dead player. And finally, the scout can see where the next objective is. If you're a traitor, you spawn with a little radio that you can use to communicate with your teammate. There are also little crates that spawn around the map, so if you get exiled, you won't be a sitting duck and die immediately. Although it does cost tickets to be able to take stuff out of them. You want to try and blend in with the other players though, and avoid getting exiled, because the longer you hang around them, the faster you get traitor credits. Credits can be spent on sabotaging the bunker, opening bunkers by yourself, creating global events, flipping around little cabin steins, or, like I said earlier, taking stuff from the loot drops. There's also the identity thief, who has to steal the dead player's role or they won't be able to win the game. Whatever the role the thief takes, that's the objective they now have to complete. So if they steal a traitor role, they have to kill the rest of the survivors. If they get a survivor role, they get that role, their privileges, and they have to try and escape the other survivors. You can craft 3 different types of melee weapons and guns. For melee, you can make the axe, pickaxe, or a sickle. They all deal the same amount of damage though. It's 100 damage and you have 1000 HP. Do the math. The guns, on the other hand, do way more damage. And you also have crossbows. You have a crossbow that is only found in chests, the shotgun that shoots 5 bullets, doing 144 each, but it spreads out after a while, a bolt action that does 450 per shot, and a semi-auto rifle that shoots 5 bullets, each doing 120 damage before needing to reload. There are crossbows that you can make to shoot poison arrows. You can also use the poison to make poison items that other players will lose health if they use them. I'm going to speedrun these last few. A campfire that can use outside to keep warm and not freeze to death. Radios will let you communicate with anybody that has one, no matter how far away they are. Energy drinks give you a mild stat boost, and global events. Global events are weird because they'll happen on their own, but traders can also trigger them if they have enough credits. Blizzards will make it extremely cold outside, and if you don't have a campfire or inside the cabin, you'll freeze to death. It also makes the screen very blurry and reduces visibility. Airdrops are supplies for the survivors that the traders cannot sabotage, but they can poison them. One of the crates contains guns and food while the others explode when opened. Mass Hysteria is my personal favorite because after a short animation it turns everyone into a nameless bunny for 110 seconds. It's the perfect time for a killer to strike, but once somebody is killed their body returns to their normal skin. Solar Flare is a bitch because Solar Flare is a bitch because it'll teleport you halfway across the map without your compass, and you have to find your way back to the cabin, which is so stupid because you could be in the middle of a task and then you just go somewhere and you don't get anything back until you go back to the cabin. And if you're exiled, well, you're just shit out of luck. That's all the items, I think, hopefully. Anyways, yeah, I know the game is pretty complicated, but I honestly had so much fun playing the game with my friends. In fact, unlike the game that spawned 1,000 memes and killed many more brain cells, you can play the game with randoms and it's actually fun? I know, it's impossible, but the fact that the main purpose is to escape with a small hurdle of traitors trying to kill you, instead of other games where it's to survive against the imposters, it's a little breath of fresh air. I just love the game and I'd love to see more people playing it too. Anyways, you should subscribe or I'll smear Nutella on your nuts. Never mind, some of you sick fucks are probably into that.